Shalom. All praises unto Yahweh Hashem Shai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and honest Jew brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Now we're seeing this situation out here play out with North Korea, which ultimately may amount to nothing, but it just goes to show you that the times that we're getting into, and we're getting in the times where there's more and further and numerous amounts of nuclear war talk, whether it be Iran and America, whether it be Russia, China against America, all right, whether it's North Korea versus America. But see, what you have to understand is the common denominator in all of this is the Americans, which is Babylon, which is known as Babylon within the scriptures. If you go to the book of Revelations, the 18th chapter tells you how Babylon was going to be destroyed, and it was going to be destroyed by what? By way of these nuclear missiles that they're talking about within these different articles. So ultimately, what you're seeing playing out is these prophecies come to pass, man. All right, because when this thing does go down, whether it be, because we know really Iran and Russia are going to play a principal part in that, and we've always speculated that it'll be aggression from Israel going out there into Iran that was going to cause this thing to kick off. Now I can't tell you, play by play exactly what's going to happen. I can only speculate and go off of what the scripture says. All right, but like I was saying, you might have a situation where that comes into play, but guess what? The North Koreans is going to be getting down in terms of fighting against them Americans, man. Because as far as all the different countries in the world is concerned, all right, America is the bringer of doom, man. All right, when they set up their governments within their different countries, what does that bring forth? That brings forth wickedness with them in whatever country there is. For instance, you got the movie The Last Samurai, all right. And what they was doing, pretty much, you had the old ways coming up against the new ways, all right. And ultimately, what would have happened is you would have had the loss of their own culture. So the women would have been acting up, and they would have been, talking about getting careers and so on and so forth. Which you can get some work and so on and so forth. But the scripture talks about how order is supposed to be set up within the family structure, which is one principal thing that Esau has set out to destroy. All right. The proof of that, the Willie Lynch letter. The Willie Lynch letter set out how to destroy and perpetually destroy the Negro, Hispanic, and Native American household, man. That was the aim of the Willie Lynch letter, all right? And that's what has systematically played out against our people, man, all right? Because this devil Esau, all right, was set up by the Most High really to fulfill what was spoken about within the prophecies going back onto the Lord, man, all right? How the tender and delicate woman amongst our people was gonna become rough, man. How the children was gonna, the old man was gonna run away at the young kids, man, because they out there on the streets and all of that, man. That all goes back onto the what it talks about in the book of Deuteronomy, man. But getting back onto this point, pretty much we are having these the rumors of wars. But you're seeing the common denominator in all of these rumors of wars, man, which is the American government, which is all pursuant to the scriptures, man. All right. So this is the book of this is the article from End of the American Dream. All right, and it's gonna go into the different the different instances where North Korea has pretty much threatened the American government. We know through this for the scriptures that ultimately that might lead out into nothing. All right, because the scriptures talk about the Persians, the Carmanians, or the more being with them. All right, and we also know that the Most High was going to put hooks in Gog and Magog, which is Russia, and they was going to strengthen, all right, their neighboring countries, so Iran and so on and so forth. And by strengthening them neighboring countries, they was going to come up against the woman that sitteth upon the beast, man. All right, so it says on Sunday, North Korea warned the United States that it could wipe out Manhattan with a single hydrogen bomb. Now, does that mean they're gonna do that? I couldn't tell you. What I do know is when this thing goes down, they're gonna be getting work in there as well, man. They're gonna be involved in it. In fact, a lot of these different countries gonna be involved in it. Why? Because ultimately you got NATO and America coming up against the whole entire world to enforce what? The so-called New World Order, man. All right. Now within these different countries, you have got members of the elites that are gonna be pushing forth their agenda, and they're gonna be down with it. All right. But what you have to remember is on the surface of it, and as far as the people are concerned, all right, they're seeing a world war, but really what the elites are doing is playing both sides against each other. So what? They can depopulate the earth to a manageable amount, and they're gonna get everybody chipped, man. That's the end game, to reduce the amount of people that are upon the earth, man. But see, that goes back onto what the scripture says. If the wicked be multiplied, if it is for what? It is for the sword. It's for their judgment. All of these people that are upon the face of the earth right now, they're out here to play out their judgment. And it's going to be a whole mindful, wrathful, right, indignatious judgment coming from Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. All right, because all of these people that are upon the face of the earth, you better be damn straight they touch the apple of the Most High's eye, man. That's why they're hit, man. Now, if we be of the elect, we're gonna see a part of that, and pursuant to the scripture where it talks about the Lord's gonna make us a new threshing instrument, we're gonna be part of that. We're gonna be putting some work in as well, man, upon these heathen. Ultimately, the glory is gonna go to Yahweh Shai, and ultimately even further that unto Yahweh, man. All right. So it says here, and earlier this month, North Korea threatened to make a preemptive and offensive nuclear strike. All right, meaning to say, before anything has even happened, before even America has done anything against North Korea, if they feel somewhat threatened, they're gonna do what's known as a preemptive or offensive strike, man. So not a retaliation, but a preemptive. Okay, it says on the United States in response to aggression. Right, aggressive military exercise is currently being jointly conducted by South Korea and the U.S. military. And it says, and so does nuclear war with Korea actually. So does nuclear war with North Korea pose a significant security threat to this country? Well, according to Washington Post, the entire west coast of United States is within reach of North Korea's intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. Them ICBMs that we've been talking about for the longest, all right? It says the only question is whether or not the North Korea's ultra-paranoid leader, Kim Jong-un, all right, would ever actually press the button. Now, see, we know through the prophecies that ultimately he probably ain't going to do that, man. All right, we know how this thing was going to play out through the scriptures, right? But really what I was pushing forth out there is these rumors of wars. All right, and remember, we ain't talking about military interventions anymore. We're actually talking about the war that is spoken about within these scriptures. All right, namely the elements are gonna melt with a fervent heat. All right, all of them palatial palaces that they done built up, whether it was, this building or that building in this state or that state, all of that is gonna be brought down to the ground, man. Pursuant to Malachi the 1st chapter and the 4th verse, man. All right, so we're seeing that being spoken about now. Therefore, we're inches away from Yahweh Shemel making his return, man. Right, so it's high time. If you're in a state of sleep, it's high time to wake up out of sleep. It really is, man. All right, and really is the push. If they're talking, if you're seeing that as a headline, guess what, man? That's actually, that's now we know how it's gonna play out, but that's actually, in line with what's happening with, in terms of the scriptures, Babylon being destroyed. All right, it says most Americans don't realize this, but the nuclear war with North Korea is closer than it's ever been before. It says in the past, North Korea's technical capabilities were greatly limited, but now, as a result of Russia, right? But now all that has apparently changed. Just consider what was taking place in the last few months, all right? And it's saying the following comes from the timeline that was put together by the Arms Control Association, and it goes to list, all the missiles they got and so on and so forth. Which I would speculate that, they probably bought that or built that by way of Russia, because I believe they're underneath the same banner as the Russians. But like I said, it's just rumors, all right. The thing that's actually gonna play out, people ain't even really talking about it that much, because they think that it's actually not gonna happen, this war with United States and Russia, man. But with that, I'm gonna say all praise unto Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, double honors to the apostles of GMS. All right, and honor you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.